All right, rejection. Got something here. Want to share something really quick with you guys. So this is gonna help somebody, and I'm excited to share it because it's nothing like being free. It's nothing like being captive of your within yourself. I know all about that journey. You know, you guys follow me. I know all about that journey, being captive in within yourself. It really ain't people. It's I believe it's what we unconsciously hold on to, and it starts in our childhood. It starts in our in the root part of us. So I do this work, I study this work on my own. I invest in myself, I invest in other spiritual teachers and things, who are on a higher vibration than I am, to help me get there quicker. And one of the questions that was asked, which was, sometimes many of us have fear of rejection, and that was me. And so the question was asked, going all the way back, where do you remember encountering a fear of rejection? And that fear of rejection that I remember encountering, I was like 3 years old. 3 years old, probably a little bit younger than, no, about 3 years old. And I had my favorite white blouse. And in this favorite white, I don't know if it was my favorite. I just liked it because it was like really, really clean and crisp white. And I was at church, and this little kid had a black marker. Y'all know where I'm going with this. This little kid had a black marker and marked up my blouse, hurt my little feelings. And I was like, oh my God. My first thought was, why would he do that? And I felt hurt. I felt like, oh my God, why? In my head, I was like, oh my God, why did he mark up my blouse? And I viewed that as rejection. I viewed that as I must be nobody. I viewed that as, that's how I perceived it. That's how I misperceived it. And not even knowing, now that I am an adult, not even knowing that that's what toddlers do, right? They mess up. They do things. They get into things. You give a toddler a marker, and I was probably coming toward his way, and he just marked up the blouse because he probably just wanted to play, right? But in my mind, as 3 years old, I viewed that as rejection. I viewed that as feeling like nothing. I viewed that as not feeling like I exist as a human being. I don't know if I went to depth like that, but I remember the feeling of feeling as though that I didn't, my existence wasn't, because my thought was, if he thought that I was human, he wouldn't mark up my shirt, because I don't mark up other people's shirt. I'm not sure if I thought that into detail, but that was the root of the where I can remember all the way back in the record, as far as having the feeling of rejection. Then, as I became older, I remember my upbringing was some of the teachings I remember being under. I remember feeling that I had to dot every I and cross every T, because the belief was, the teaching was, even your thought is a sin, right? Even your mere, if you even think it, don't even think it. So there was this deep, deep fear, and a deep disconnection that I had with myself, because I thought I was a bad person. I can remember even going back. I used to feel like such a bad person for having a bad thought. And I thought that God did not like me. I, and let me correct this. On a human level, this is what I thought, how God viewed me. On a soul level, I was like, something ain't right about this. some may write about this. I don't believe that God views me that way. That was what I felt on a soul level, in my truth. But my human level to survive, to get by, was this fear of not liking myself, was this fear of if I have a bad thought that I would be considered, just this nasty person that didn't deserve to breathe air. Literally. So there was a level of rejection, and there was also a level of I can't mess up, right? It was also a level of I can't mess up, I can't mess up, I can't mess up, I can't mess up. That's haunting. That's tormenting. It's haunting and it's tormenting. It's haunting and it's tormenting. And then you have in a society, or grow up in the environment in the school system where you have to be the girls have to be this way and you have to be a certain way. And I'm a 90s kid, so I remember incidents where our parents, they didn't buy no Tommy Hilfiger, Carl Kanai, cross colors. What else was around there? Tommy Hilfiger, Nautica. They didn't buy the Gap jackets. I remember if you're a 90s kid, the pullover Gap jackets. My parents weren't doing that. Some of the kids that I knew were stealing some of this stuff. I was like, it ain't that serious. I ain't about to get in trouble. But there was a level of rejection even I had then because I didn't have those clothes. I didn't have those clothes. And so there was a level of if you don't dress like that, then you're not considered to be accepted. So it was like being in an environment at home and feeling that I had to dot every I and cross every T. And then being in a church setting with feeling that, God doesn't love you. And then you have a school setting, where you have, because you don't dress that way, you are considered not accepted. So in my human form, there was these different memories and records that I can recall in my mind where I found myself trying to navigate through life, with these different walls and maneuvering through life, trying to really just cope. That's really what it was. Um, Acceptance, maybe, but I would say more of coping. Um, Coping. So maybe there was a form of acceptance that I was looking for, but when I look back at the feeling, it was more of a feeling of coping. Like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't seem right, but this is how I got to cope. This is how I got to get through it, right? Um and so and so um God broke it from me. Um and when I say God broke it from me, um I awakened. I was carrying all that stuff. I was carrying a lot of internal